May start flow.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Uh, Good morning. Welcome everyone for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivam narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Ashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata siddha bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are going to read and discuss from Canto 3, Chapter 4, text number 12. Let me share my screen. Saye sasado charamo bhavanam asaditasте mat anugraho yat यन्मां नृलोकाम्रः पुस्रजान्तां दिष्टादत्स् दत्रस्वान् विसा धनुभृत्या साये ससादो चरमा भवानाम् आसादितास्ते मत् अनुग्रहो यत् यन्मां नृलोकान्रः उत्सृजन्ताम् दिष्टादत् ऋस्वान् visadhanuvritya saha, that Ishaha, of those, Sadho, O honest one, Charamaha, the ultimate, Bhavanam, of all your incarnations as Vasu, Asaditaha, now achieved, Te, unto me, Mat, my, Anugraha, mercy, Yat, as it is, Yat, because, Mam, me, Nrilokan, the planets of the conditioned souls, Raha, in seclusion, Utsrajantam, while quitting, Dishtya, by seeing, that Riswan, what you have seen, Visada Anubritya, by unflinching devotion. Translation: O honest one, your present life is the last and the supermost, because in this term of life you have been awarded my ultimate favor. Now you can go to my transcendental abode, Vaikuntha, by leaving this universe of conditioned living entities. Your visit to me in this lonely place, because of your pure and unflinching devotional service, is a great boon for you. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When a person is fully conversant with knowledge of the Lord, as far as can be known by a perfect living entity in the liberated state, he is allowed to enter into the spiritual sky where the Vaikuntha planets exist. The Lord was sitting in a lonely place, just about to disappear from the vision of the inhabitants of this universe, and Uddhava was fortunate to see him even at that time, and thus receive the Lord's permission to enter Vaikuntha. The Lord is everywhere at all times, and his appearance and disappearance are merely the experience of the inhabitants of a particular universe. He is just like the sun. The sun does not appear or disappear in the sky. It is only in the experience of the men that in the morning the sun rises and in the evening the sun sets. The Lord is simultaneously both in Vaikuntha and everywhere, within and without Vaikuntha. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunya Bhari Pashatya Desha Dharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I seek the blessings of all assembled devotees, my spiritual master, and our deity Shri Nitai Gaurachandra to speak something meaningful about this wonderful verse 3, 4, 12. So this verse is talking about Uddhava meeting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, in the secluded place, in a lonely place. And in this conversation, Krishna is saying, Uddhava, that Sadhu, O honest one, and in this present life, okay, this is your last life, and you have attained the perfection, and you are returning back to the transcendental abode, the Vaikuntha planets. And he's saying that you had been as one of the Vasus in your previous life, and now you have perfected your life, and that is the qualification for you to return to the transcendental abode. And in what condition Lord is saying, the Lord is in a lonely, secluded place. And why he is there? He is there because he is about to disappear, or he is about to end his pastimes. And he is there. And at that state, how fortunate is Uddhava to go and meet, and he's been awarded to return back to the transcendental abode, and he's taking the permission from the Lord to go back to Godhead at the end of his life. So this is called conquering death. So the Lord is Uddhava is meeting the Lord, and that is the context what we are going to discuss. So how fortunate, what is the teachings when we read mentioned in this verse? How fortunate is Uddhava? What is the qualification that he has attained? So Uddhava is really a wonderful personality, a very close associate of Lord, and he has a strong conviction, faith, devotion to the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Krishna. So, devotional service is the qualification. So, and especially faith and in understanding and understanding everything in full truth, and executing devotional services based on the truth is the two qualification that Uddhava has perfected. So if you see here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is he accepts anyone and everyone. He does not discriminate anyone who is coming and taking the process of devotional service. So he is so kind, he is so merciful. So he gives the knowledge, and he does not discriminate. So here our Acharya says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the one who is giving the knowledge. He is the one who is giving the intelligence for someone to take up this process of Krishna consciousness. It is not the endeavor, it is not the effort, or it is not a luck. So it is not something that happens on its own. It is Lord who is so careful and who is so much interested in making the soul come back home, back to Godhead. So in the process, he is giving the intelligence. How he is giving the intelligence? He is giving the intelligence as Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantiti. So only by that intelligence, one is able to understand, one is able to even know there is something called Krishna consciousness, there is something called devotees. Somehow or other, by that mercy, they are able to associate, and things are orchestrated, facilitated for the person to get his preliminary faith. The faith, when speaking about a faith is the only, the first transaction that is happening, where we as a conditioned soul should give our honest effort. That is faith. You just give that, and Krishna, and how to give that is given through by Krishna. The intelligence is given by Krishna. The price that we pay for our devotional service is nothing but the preliminary faith. So Krishna is so merciful in that aspect, and he is giving that, and he is accompanying all the time, right? He is internal and external. And how he is internal? He is always in our heart as Paramatma, as a super soul. He is guiding, okay, internally, and externally he is also manifested as the spiritual master. Spiritual master is nothing but the external manifestation of the super soul. So we need someone in our life to say, to inspire that what we do is, are we doing correct? Are we in the path? Or to do something. So he is constantly making himself available as a spiritual master in the process, and he is guiding us and he is inspiring us. Krishna is so kind. He is, like we just heard about that Krishna accepts anyone and everyone who is engaged in this process. He does not discriminate. What is he seeing in that person? He is only seeing the internality, not the externality. Externally, we are, it's not a cookie cutter formula. It's not a stereotypical thing. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own baggage. Everyone has their tendencies. But still, Krishna is so kind that he is seeing what is internally we are carrying. That is the thing. And speaking about that, so in the past times of Ramachandra, when Ramachandra quit Ayodhya, the first thing he met Guga. Who is Guga? Guga is a tribal person. And in the interaction with him, Lord Ramachandra, who came from the royal family, he hugged Guha, and he only saw his internal mood and things that he was carrying it. And he gave that favor in giving his association. Okay. And also Shabari. Shabari is a like what to say, outcast woman practicing bhakti. Okay, and there are two versions of Ramayana saying that she gave the juta fruit, or she tasted the fruit from the trees and she picked those trees. So I'm not sure which version is authentic, but out of devotion, she did what she did. And even when Lakshmana was saying that these fruits are already tasted or something like that. But Ramachandra said that I have never tasted any good fruits like this. So he encouraged, and he only saw the devotion, he only saw the mood, what they are carrying, and the real love. So what is that we are learning from this is the one and only way to approach and to take is bhakti. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Right? Krishna says only by bhakti one can approach me, one can come and engage in devotional service. So this bhakti process is so sublime that it can conquer even death. So how it is said is Nara Narayana Ashraya. Nara means human, Narayana Ashraya. Taking the deep shelter of Narayana, unflinching faith in the Lord. Okay, this Nara Narayana shelter. Everyone is aspiring something or other. So this aspiration, one we aspire for a good life, good health. No, there are a lot of things that things aspire. But when we are taking the process of a bhakti yoga, this helps people to conquer even liberation. Like you can even reach the liberation part in it. So what to speak about the other things that one is aspiring? This bhakti can fulfill the needs both materially and spiritually. That is being said. And in general, people do Mrityunjaya Yajna or Mrityunjaya Homa, right? For longevity and all. So Krishna says, you don't need to do anything separate. Everything is here in this process. Mrityunjaya. Mrityu means death. One can conquer the death. One can be successful. Jaya means successful. One can conquer the death by taking this process of a bhakti yoga. And that is exactly what Uddhava has demonstrated, because he is conquering the death. He has perfected his life. And that's why he is saying like, Sadhu, oh honest one, your life, in the present life, you have received my ultimate favor. So this is not something that is available in Amazon that you can go and get it. This has to be awarded only by the Supreme Lord, and that ultimate favor is being provided by the Supreme Lord to Uddhava, and as an outcome of that, he is awarded a ticket to go back to Godhead, to the Vaikuntha planets. So leaving this conditioned state of life, leaving all this conditioned living entity, so he is qualified now to visit. And what was his investment? His investment is nothing but unflinching devotional service unto the Supreme Lord. So this practice of devotional service is applicable to anyone and everyone. And Krishna is guiding us in all aspects. The one and only thing Krishna is always looking for us, is eagerly waiting. How is this soul is going to come back to me? How is this soul is going to do something in his activity that he is always thinking about me? So he is facilitating all the aspects. That is what Krishna is constantly helping us. And Krishna is everywhere. Like whether we see Krishna face to face or Krishna or we don't see Krishna. I mean, it is Srila Prabhupada says like it is just our experience, but the presence of Krishna is there in everyone's life. And sometimes we experience it, or we do not experience it. In our daily life, things get orchestrated. Something complex happen, or something simple thing, we don't even witness it, but things are orchestrated and we understand, oh, this is beyond my capability, this is beyond my will, how is this getting executed? Oh, there is a presence of a Krishna who is orchestrating. That is why that I am in a position to even think about it, or I am in a position to even call the name of it. Otherwise, we'll be thinking that I and my tendency is so strong that we will be easily carried away by that. But when we are trying to overcome the I and my tendency, right? By somehow or other, like when we say, "Oh, it is Krishna's mercy," it is the fortune. Like it is somehow or other. I should take this as the biggest fortune in my life that I have this opportunity to associate or even think about that time. That is Krishna's mercy. So in our life, like I can think about this. Few days before, this is a season of rabbits going here and there. When I was driving, one rabbit just try to came and in the middle of the car, like, and then I don't know what to do. Like, I just slammed the brakes and said, "Oh Krishna." It is not that I was prepared to say that I should say Krishna. The spontaneous calling of the name at the time of the need is the mercy. When someone is and someone in that experience who is not practicing Krishna consciousness, I don't know how they will be reacting it. Luckily, the rabbit went the other side of the road. But the way to call and take the shelter, the Ananya Bhakti, I mean, like that is our price that we are paying, that we are supposed to practice. We in these days, it's all transactional centric. We go and our life is based on plastic. We only need a credit card which is made of a plastic. Everything runs on that. Those days we need money. Prior before that, we have a barter system. We need commodities. Now our life is based on plastic. You need to have a plastic, and that is determining you all those things. You can buy anything with that. So that is what happening on the other side. But whereas our thing is the price that we need to pay, which cannot be accomplished by any of these transactional modes, is the conviction, the faith, and developing the faith, nurturing the faith, and engaging in the association of devotees, and taking that association, sadhu sangha, seriously, and nurturing our bhakti creeper. When we do that faith process and when we engage in that devotional service, it is sure, and it is said, and it has been demonstrated by Uddhava, and Krishna is saying that it's not someone someone in Route 59 is saying, it is Krishna saying. Krishna is saying very strongly that you have been successful in this. Because of this, you are being awarded by my ultimate favor. And the outcome of this, you are going to the transcendental abode, where you can continuously serve Krishna without any anxiety. This place is full of anxiety, where Vaikunta is a place free from anxiety, and you can go and engage in the uninterrupted devotional service. So we just need that uninterrupted devotional service for everyone to be free from anxiety and engage in that. Thank you very much for providing me an opportunity to talk and read about this words. This was very inspiring for me and hope building words in the interaction between Uddhava and the Supreme Lord. If there are any corrections or discussions, please let's make use of this time to discuss this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for a nice class. When you are reading the translation, when Krishna was telling to Uddhava, this is your last life. So, how lucky, to hear that. Of course, actually, if when somebody is in the situation of suffering for millions of births, for that person, for me, it doesn't know what is that happiness is, right? So, because they think that that is the happiness, because this is the life. So, we need to suffer like this. Because people, we got used to it for millions and billions of lifetimes. So we don't know what is that happiness outside there, right? What is our natural position?
Yeah.
Even from, the similar situation. Even though we are hearing so much, I'm hearing so much. So, it's not getting into the heart, right? So, because that otherwise, people will, I'll be very serious, right? I was hearing something, this life is short, and then, emergency consciousness, something like that I was hearing.
Yeah.
So if we don't have that, it's not going to be so easy to get that, right? What Krishna is giving to the, so now, lucky is to hear that, after millions and billions of births, right, one is having some problem, right, some problem or other, suddenly you're saying that no, you'll be out of all those problems, right? So you'll be having eternal happiness. So it is very nice. But yeah, as you mentioned, the life is became more transactional. Yeah, I just do this for today, right? It's done. So, but yeah, instead of that, if the long term benefit that one gets by performing devotional service or practicing what one is hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, so it's very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. You brought an interesting point. Like uh, every time we have, we think this is the happiness. Like what is that Maharaj says? A drop of honey, and for that we just open our tongue and wait for it. But we really don't know what is the real nectar it is. Like we are thinking that this is what it is. Like even the simple things that we think, oh, this is, like this is a miserable state. Like there is a lot of anxiety when someone is supposed to send you a text message, and if they are delayed or stuck in traffic or something, if they are not, we, like my mentor used to say, don't try to live in others' mind. We are very used to live in, why is that this person has not sent? Why is he ignoring me? That all these things coming, like, and then after some time they say, oh, okay, finally, that's not the happiness. That is just a relief from anxiety. But we think this is what it is. So at least a progressive step, one step at a time. What is that I have done better than yesterday? Like in that approach, if we try to train ourselves, at least that is a one-step approach, Prabhu, in going towards or away from the transactional mode and taking the Ananya Bhakti path. That's my understanding. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Okay, bro.
All right. So if there are no more questions or discussions, I'll give you one minute back. Thank you very much. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.